Yeah, I would say so. Joining us on the call, guest number 3. Welcome to you, Denzel Bentley. How are you, Denzel?
I'm good, thanks. How you doing?
Not too bad at all. Good to see you. Keeping well?
Yeah. I'm keeping well. I'm keeping well.
Excellent stuff, man. We were talking about Daniel Dubois knocking out that fella Schneiders last night. Did you manage to see it?
Yeah. I saw it. Yeah. Good knockout.
What do you think then? I mean, someone like Schneiders, what would Daniel have learnt from that?
To be honest, Snyder's went on Daniel's level. I saw Snyder's record and I thought he'd do a bit better than that. But he weren't on his level, probably a bit too small. Daniel's big, Daniel's dangerous. He punches too hard. He probably wouldn't have learned anything from it. But at the end of the day, it was just a fight to get him out. He hasn't been out all year. It was a fight to get him out, to get him ready for Joyce's fight. And to be honest, Joyce's opponent wasn't any better. So
Yeah, exactly. Michael
yeah,
Valish wasn't much better. You're quite right. That's the big fight we all want to see, providing it goes ahead at the end of October. Who you got then, Daniel or Joe Joyce?
I'm going for Daniel. You don't bet against the house.
What have Daniel got then that he can do to Joe Joyce? Because we think Joe Joyce is a big, strong, experienced guy. Daniel might be a little bit green. Talk us through it.
Daniel's very big as well. Daniel's technique is very it's to a T. He throws his jab well. He throws the 1-2 well. Even though he's big and people think he's slow, his timing's on point. I've seen that in sparring firsthand. That's why I can say that confidently. And his feet are also very good. He's very good and light on his feet for a big guy. He's in and out before you know it. And he doesn't take as much punishment as Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce just eats shots and then throws them back. So it will be a good fight for as long as it lasts for. But if Joe Joyce takes too much from Daniel, he might get knocked out.
Yeah, we like Daniel's trainer as well, Martin Bowers. I think he did a very good job against Gorman. He's got his head switched on strategically.
Yeah, exactly. So you saw in the Gorman fight, Gorman was meant to be the quicker fighter, the more skilled fighter, but Dan beat him to the jab every time, made him miss, and ended up knocking him out. Dan didn't lose a round in that fight, and Gorman was meant to be the more skilled fighter. So he showed you there that he can also do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Just before we move on to your career, sticking with the heavyweight theme, what did you think about Dillon White getting knocked out by Povetkin last weekend?
That was a brutal knockout, to be honest. That took everyone by surprise. He was winning the fight quite comfortably, dropped Povetkin twice, but I just think he took his foot off the gas and kind of saw it as a routine win, maybe, because if he stuck it on him, he would have got him out of there. He just started taking his foot off the gas and cruising the fight, and probably lost a bit of concentration. That's why he got caught with that shot, and the shot was a nasty shot, and he got caught with it clean, and that was it.
Yeah, we were talking to Troy Williamson just before you jumped on the call there, and he was saying about Povetkin. Johnny Nelson was mentioning it being a lucky punch, but Povetkin's so experienced, we think that he would have been setting him up for that throughout the fight.
Nah, there's no way that's a lucky punch. That was not a lucky punch. You don't throw that shot by accident. He dipped to the side and threw the shot, like through the little short uppercut or screw shot, whatever you want to call it. He meant to throw that shot. It wasn't just. It wasn't like he was on the back foot throwing his hands because he was being attacked and landed the shot. He slipped and came back up with that short uppercut. He meant to throw that. That wasn't lucky.
Yeah, absolutely. We thought that too, so it's good to get verification on that. Just looking at your career then, Denzel, we've obviously had you on before. You are very welcome coming back with us, 13-0, 11 knockouts, 25 years of our age. Things are pretty much moving on the way up for you at the moment.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Yeah.
What about the bubble? What was it like fighting in BT Sports Studio? It must have been pretty weird.
The whole build-up was weird to it, but as I was fighting, I didn't really but I didn't really acknowledge the fact that I was in the studio, there's no fans, I'm focused on the fight, if that makes sense. But the whole build-up to it was a bit weird. Staying in a hotel for, I think, 3 days or 4 days before getting out to fight. I've never experienced that before, so that was new to me. Getting the cab, it was like a one-way system, one way in, one way out. As soon as you fight, you can't stay behind, you got to leave straight away. It was all pretty weird to me, but as I was fighting, I was fighting, I was okay. So I think next time I go on the bubble, I'll be all right with it because I know how it works.
Yeah, got that little bit more experience. Obviously, you're in against Mick Hall, tough as boots, but you were just a level above and landing some really heavy shots towards the end. It was getting a bit uncomfortable for him.
Yeah, no, Mick Hall's a tough guy, tougher than I expected. when he came in, the thing is, it's funny because I say that, but I didn't expect to stop him, but I didn't know he was that tough. Because watching him, he boxed a bit more. Every time I watched him on YouTube, every time I watched one of these fights, he was more boxing. So I thought it was going to be a slightly tricky fight. But on the night, he came out and started swinging, guns blazing, and we ended up having a scrap. So I had to not rearrange what I was doing, but I kind of fought to his pace, which I shouldn't have. I should have slowed down and focused on what I was doing. But because I didn't expect the way he was coming out, it kind of forced me out my rhythm. But like you said, I was a level above, even though he's a class fighter, and I think he'll give a lot of prospects problems. But I was just that level above, and I was hitting him with too many big shots, and he couldn't take it for long.
You mentioned there about what Mick was going to bring to the table. Obviously, it's difficult with the journeyman, but as you move up in levels, do you watch guys tape of fellas? Do you train or watch tape, or do you go in blind?
No, I don't go in blind. Anyone I fight, I kind of know about. I like to keep updated on the division and what's going on. So everyone in the division, I kind of know about. I kind of know roughly. I've seen them fight before, so I never go in blind unless it's like someone that's coming in from abroad that I've never heard of before. That's just been put to me. But anyone in the UK, I already kind of know who they are, or I've seen them fight before. And when the fight gets called or put to me, my coach will also watch them and be like, "This is what he does. This is what he doesn't do." But I already kind of got a clue of everyone in the country at middleweight.
Obviously, with you being from Battersea, the commentary team were making the comparisons with the excellent Howard Eastman. The Battersea bomber went the distance with William Joppy, went the distance with Bernard Hopkins. Howard was a class act. Are you happy with that comparison?
I'm not really too fussed about the comparisons because the fight before that, they'll compare me to Nigel Benn. So, and they're two completely different fighters. I'm happy they're pulling legends' names out the hats and throwing them at me, which is good. It's always good to be put in the name of be put in the hat with some big names that have done their thing in British boxing. So if I can obviously end my career being at that level with them when you're talking about the great British fighters, being alongside those guys, I'll be grateful for that. But at the end of the day, telling me who I fight like or who I think I fight or who they think I fight like doesn't concern me. That's their job, and I leave it to them. I'm not gonna start looking up Howard Eastman or Nigel Benn to try and keep up with the comparisons. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. But like I said, it's nice to be put in the same bracket as these legends that came before me.
Yeah, well said, well said. So the McCall fight was on the 25th of July. Mark Heffron on the 12th of September. He's 25-1. That looks like a tasty scrap.
Yeah. It's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a good fight. My Heffron's a good fighter. The fight got put to me, I think about a year ago, maybe a bit longer. Yeah, I think about a year ago, last year sometime. And from then, I've been thinking about it like, oh, that's a good fight. It wasn't a fight I really thought of, but I thought it's a good fight. And ever since then, we've been kind of saying each other's names, being back and forth. Promoters and matchmakers have tried to make the fight, haven't been able to be made. But I think they've only taken this fight because they didn't rate my performance against McCall, which I don't blame them because I didn't rate it neither. But it is what it is. They've taken it now, and I'm gonna be better prepared. And it's a different fight on the night.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting fight, I think, because Heffron was obviously a big puncher on the way up. People were excited about him. I was there that night on the Frampton Warrington undercard whenever he fought Liam Williams. I was surprised and impressed by Williams' performance, the way he moved around, the way he used the jab. He never got greedy and he finished him off at the right time. Does that show Heffron's limitations, perhaps?
Oh yeah, no. Liam Williams put up a great performance that night. That was a great performance. And you could say he showed his vulnerabilities, Heffron's vulnerabilities. So, but how long ago was that fight? I think that was about 2 years ago, 2018.
About 18 months ago, yeah.
Yeah, so I personally would have expected Heffron to improve by then. If he hasn't, then I don't know how far he can go in the sport. But I think he would have worked on some of those things and improved on that. So I'm expecting a different fight and a better Heffron than that. So I'm not calling out him. I'm not calling out, well, not, I didn't really call him out anyway, but I'm not taking this fight because I think he's washed up or because I think he's done or Williams has showed us the blueprint of how to beat him, blah, blah, blah. I'm expecting a better Heffron. He's had 2 years. He's had all wins since then, even though he hasn't really fought anyone since that fight, sorry. But I guess all the opponents he took during then, he took them fights to work on things that he's been trying to improve on things that he's been trying to work on, sorry. So I'm expecting a better Heffron than the night he fought Liam Williams, and a more confident one, because he should be used to that kind of limelight now, or that kind of level of fight.
Yeah, absolutely. I would expect so. Final few questions just before we let you go, Denzel.
Yeah.
Talking to Liam Williams, he's going in against Andrew Robinson. Robinson's a good fighter, but it's going to be very difficult to beat Williams. The form he's in at the moment.
Yeah, I think Williams wins that. I think it's a quite easy win. If he's looking at world level, of course, someone like Andrew Robinson shouldn't be able to, be in there too long with him, especially where Mark Heffron stopped him before. But then again, saying that is different. Just because someone stops someone doesn't mean you have to stop them. But I think Liam Williams does carry a bit of power, and he is a good fighter. So I'm expecting him to beat Andrew Robinson quite convincingly as well before he moves on to his world level. To be honest, I don't know why he's fighting him. I don't know why he's fighting Andrew Robinson. I think he should just vacate and let one of us get in there with him. But it is what it is. He's doing what he's doing, and after he comes out, he moves on and hopefully vacates the British so someone else can fight for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Over on the Matchroom side of things, Felix Cash was recently seen beating up Jason Welborn. What did you make of that performance?
Yeah, it was a decent performance. Nothing too great. I felt like Welborn didn't show up, but then again, that could be credit to Cash for not allowing him to get in his rhythm. But I just thought it was an average performance. I didn't think it was anything special. Like it didn't blow me away, but he done well. So well done to him.
And finally, on this particular topic as well, someone you've been vocal about in the past, Chris Eubank Jr. I haven't heard much from him lately.
Yeah, Chris Eubank Jr. I don't know, but I've seen on his socials that he's been training with Roy Jones and stuff. So maybe he's just trying to take time out to. Bless me, sorry about that. Maybe he's just trying to take time out to soak in some new stuff, or to get a kind of new style drilled into him before he takes it out and tries to box with this new style, because I don't think he's ever had a trainer before. So this will be his first time having a trainer. But other than that, he looks like he's enjoying his life on his social media. He's not in no rush to get back. He probably wouldn't. He doesn't seem like one to me to fight about a crowd neither, unless it's like he's getting called for a Canelo fight or something. So he might be missing for a while before he comes back.
Our listeners are loving this, by the way, Denzel. One of them has sent in a question for you. He said, tell us about Denzel fighting on the streets with gloves. His brother bought him from a market stall, some kind of fight club.
Oh, yeah. My brother bought like gloves and head guard and stuff from market and brought it home. These times we never used to watch boxing or nothing, though. We never used to. He just bought it thinking, all right, we're going to charge people that want to fight each other to fight each other. At the end of the day, no one ended up paying. We were quite young. So we just used to like gear up and fight with our friends. So we just used to go in like any block that was open in the area, that loads of people will come round, and we just have it out. So like we started off just fighting till whoever's tired. Then as we got into boxing, we started doing like 1 minute rounds, started understanding a bit more, and we just used to fight each other. So he'd have someone to fight and I'd have someone to fight. So after they fight, we switch around. I take the headgear and the gloves. Then I fight whoever I'm fighting. Everyone's recording it and stuff like that. And it was like that for like the whole summer, for a while, before I actually got to college, met a friend that boxed, and then joined the gym and started boxing properly.
Which amateur club did you sign up with, Denzel?
Fisher ABC.
And obviously attribute a lot of that to them teaching you the basics, the fundamentals, starting your journey.
Yeah, 100%. When I got there, I thought I knew how to box. I didn't have to do anything. I think after the first 2 weeks there, I sparred. I think the guy was about 57 kilos. Yeah, 57 kilos. And I was about 14 stone and he battered me. Wow. I couldn't believe it. But I got used to it. And then obviously I started learning. So shouts out to Fisher ABC and Steve Heiser.
And on a final note then, what advice would you give for a youngster who's just getting into boxing, or maybe just thinking about getting into boxing?
Go for it, man. Try it. See if you like it. If you like it, don't give up. It gets really hard. It gets hard. But just keep focused, man, and keep pushing through and keep doing your thing, because at the end of the day, no one knows what it really takes unless they go through it. So if you've got people telling you, maybe it's not for you, don't listen to them. Just you figure out for yourself. That's the only advice I give you. Figure out for yourself.
Excellent. Wise words on a Sunday evening. Any social media presence for the guys to follow you with?
Yeah, the number 2 _D, both on Twitter and Instagram. Yeah, that's me.
Excellent stuff. Thanks for joining us, giving up your time. I appreciate it.
No, nice one. Thanks for having me, man.
All the best, Denzel. Thank you.
Nice one. Take care. All right, bye.